Alright, hello and welcome. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm almost Alice. We are playing some vanilla Don't Starve tonight, and I'm super stoked. I was looking at this earlier as doing some other recordings, and I noticed that they had the, up here, Klein's got the advert, that's the word I'm looking for the Don't Starve Pops. And I'm actually super stoked because I had found one a while back while hanging out with my friend. I found Willow. Well, I found the whole line, but I actually couldn't afford all of them. So I just bought Willow because she's the character that I main. And earlier today I clicked on it. I was like, oh, screw it. Let's see what this ad leads to. And it actually turns out it leads to all the different retailers that carry them. My friend works GameStop, so I clicked on that just to see if his GameStop does. And it turns out that he actually has the two that I'm missing and still want. Oh no, fish dude, don't fight me. No, we have 0 deaths so far. No. Alright, we gotta keep moving or we're gonna die to these tentacles. Shoot. No. Alright. But the cool thing is, it turns out his store does have them. So I'm going down there hopefully this week. It probably won't be because of a family trip I'll get into in a little bit. But I'm super stoked because he's got the two that I wanted set aside for me. And I will just go swing by and pick them up soon. And I will have the full line. And I'll be able to put them in my computer case with Willow. Because that's where she is. She's in my oversized computer case. When I was building my computer last fall, they actually didn't have, I didn't need, like, a full-sized, motherboard because of the way I built my computer, but they didn't have any of the, God, I'm forgetting the term, because I don't know a whole lot about motherboards themselves, but I didn't need the full-size, like, a standard-size case. I needed a smaller one, but they didn't have any at Micro Center, which is where I was buying all my parts. So I ended up just getting a standard size case, which is fine because it doesn't make a difference. It just has the same mounts and all that jazz. But I ended up having all this extra room because of how much space was left that I used to put a whole bunch of pops in there. So I've got Willow and her little teddy bear from Don't Starve Together. And then I've got Darth Maul, which is actually a Walgreens / Star Wars Celebration exclusive, because I actually went to Star Wars Celebration with a friend of mine. We didn't actually find the pop at Star Wars Celebration, though, because they sold out every day, but we did end up getting it from Walgreens. Oh, no. No. I am so close to dying. I would like to not be in the swamp anymore, if I could please not be in the swamp anymore. I really don't want it to be deep night. Like, right now, it's only dusk, and if we get to deep night and we're still in the swamp, we're gonna have some major issues. But we got out. Sweet deal. Let's build this campfire. Let's go get this mosquito sack. I don't remember what mosquito sacks do, though. I guess we're not gonna get that mosquito sack. We are, however, gonna eat these. The more of those things you could kill for me, Mr. Tentacles, that would be great. Actually, I was kind of hoping the, spiders would kill some of the tentacles, but I don't think they're going to be able to. Nope, but I do get, give me that seed. Sweet. So I went over this a little bit last time, but one of the best things to get, oh, that just straight up heals me. Yeah, there we go. One of the coolest things, one of the things I really like with this game is that every item of food has a varying level of spoilage rate. So, berries and fruit, like fruits and vegetables, decay at about a consistent pace, and I think it's about 5 or 6 days. And cooked, they actually don't decay much slower. But the seeds, nuts and seeds, rot very, very slowly, right? In real life as well. So they kind of take that into account. So in this game, they also decay a little bit slower. If I remember correctly, seeds have a decay rate of 20 days. Excuse me. So that's really cool. We get to collect a whole bunch of them and kind of hoard them until we cook them. Cooked roasted seeds, roasted nuts, I think is what they call them. Have a decay rate of like 5 days, like 4 days. They go bad so fast once you roast them. But if you just leave them as raw seeds, you actually get a pretty decent length of time on them. I actually have to spend a little bit of time this day cycle chopping down wood. Let's see if I can do it here. I don't really need to. I've got 19, so I'll be okay. But having 2 stacks is always better than just 1. It gives us a little bit of a buffer zone, basically. That noise is just so creepy. Not knowing what's going on in the background there is really not fun. I just have my curiosity. Is this supposed to, like, play through? I thought. Apparently it's not doing that, though. Alright, so how are we looking? Oh, cool. So this was literally just the most boring tracking path I think I could have gotten. Oh, I got away from that just in time. That was really lucky. So we took a quick look at our map there, and I don't know if anyone caught it. I'll pull it up again here in a second once we get out of this. We actually don't... So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to find a good place to set up our permanent camp. Some of the things I look for in a permanent camp are, like... I say reusability, but versatility is probably the best one. We're trying to prep for winter here is the goal of our little quest right now. I'm gonna get rid of all these because we can get more later. We want to kind of prep for winter by knowing what the place that we end up setting up is gonna be kind of this long-standing haven, right? So there's a couple of food sources that are better during the winter than others. One of the best food sources during the winter, most reliable food sources during the winter, is rabbit holes. Because rabbits will still spawn during the winter, where other things like vegetables and fruit will grow, but at a very, very slow pace. A pace that's basically non-existent come winter. So we really don't want to rely on that as like a food source. Roasted berries and vegetable and carrots are really great for this time of year when we've got long days. But come winter, we really need to make sure we have some really good stuff there. It looks like, ooh, we actually want to get that. It looks like we've got a grassy area right here. So this is going to be a really great place to check out. We found this here. This is a touchstone. The touchstone is a resurrection stone. So once we get this, it'll give us a little bit of security. If we die, we'll respawn here. With a decent amount of, like, mental damage and everything. But, can't carry anymore. Oh. Well, that's fine. Oh, hey, look, that's Chester. Chester is one of my favorite things about this game. For a couple of different reasons, but mostly because he is just a walking chest, as his name suggests. So let's go over to Chester here. And let's throw, like, this in there, and this in there. That, because we won't need that right now. That sounds great. So we're going to throw those things in there. And then, oh, hey. We don't need any more of that. But we wanted to check out to see if this was a good place to set up camp. We're looking for a large density of rabbit holes, preferably pretty clustered together. Then we can start setting up rabbit traps, which are not called rabbit traps, they're called small traps. But if we can get a really good density of them, usually like 4 or more, we can set up a good amount of traps all in one little cluster. And that helps out a lot with that. We're going to follow this biome, the hay biome, is really great for that. Ooh, manure. So beefaloes, these guys are beefaloes. They're adorable, and I love them, and they're super great, except that when spring comes, and it's mating season, they get super cranky, and they will aggro you so hard, it is not even funny. So we're going to try to avoid setting up a camp that's too close to... Actually, this might be perfect. Because it's not 4, I'd really like 4 or more, but those guys we can actually trap back there with like a large number of traps right up there. Maybe we can find another area over here, kind of away from the beefaloes, that'll have another good spot. Because we don't need to have it... Oh, shit. Those are Hell Hounds. We're going to stay away from them for right now. We've got 2 there. They're right up there, okay. 2 there. We've got the ring thing. Alright, so we might actually set it up like right over in this area here. I haven't really found a whole lot better of a spot. We're pretty close to the beefaloes. Beefaloes drop manure. Manure is a really great fuel source and is also required for replanting bushes. But this right here, this looks really great, actually. Because we've got a whole bunch over here. So we could put like 4 or 5 traps up there. That'll get a good number there. It would have been really nice to get, every once in a while you get a really good seed and you get a whole bunch of rabbit holes that are like right on top of each other. If that's the case, you actually get really lucky because you get to use the fewest number of traps and trap the most, your traps can be the most effective. Tab, I keep using the wrong button. So there was some up there. Let's check down here. I've been playing a lot of Stellaris lately, and Stellaris uses M to open the map, and Don't Starve uses Tab, and I've just been kind of flipping those around a lot. It's been kind of funny. Where was it? We found a really great spot. The good news is that I don't actually necessarily need to find it right away, but we can set up... Because our, where we end up putting those traps don't have to be, like, right next to where we put our base. We just want it to be in a general vicinity. General vicinity. Preferably not backed into a corner, though. Actually, backed into a corner might be really nice. I haven't ever tried that, so let's try that. Let's put the pit here. So now we have a fire pit. This is going to be kind of like the base for our home base. The nice thing about this is fire pits use a lot less resources to kind of refuel. So usually to make a fire, like a campfire is the word I'm looking for, you have to use, I think it's 2 pieces of firewood, and it does usually burn all night, so that's really nice. But you can, when the nights are this short, you can feasibly just use one log, and it will burn almost all night. And it'll really kind of help with some of that, some of that fuel reservation. We're already back up to 90 there, so that's really nice. We really need to get, so we need a prototype machine. What do I need for this? Oh, I guess I didn't know that must be, so we really want to try to get is some sort of armor. Oh, I can make a grass suit. Okay. It's not a great amount of protection. I really would like a log suit, which I need the prototype machine to do. I might build this. Do I have the ability to make a weapon yet? No, I don't. So we're going to keep that on. It doesn't have much by the way of protection. But these guys over here are going to attack me soon. So you have my flint, right? So give me that. Because I know they're gonna attack me soon. These guys over here, they're just chilling out, and I know they're watching the ice staff, and that just kind of freaks me out. Alright, so Chester, I need you to take all of my stuff, pretty much. Just for now. I want it all back. We're giving a whole bunch of stuff to Chester for the reason that we are going to make a whole bunch of rabbit traps. Which are just small traps. Small traps are going to be used here to put down and hopefully trap up a whole bunch of these rabbits. So we're going to kind of disperse them. That's why we've been, this is the real reason we've been collecting all of these straw and this cut, the cut grass and the... So this is what I mean about being able to have better trap luck. Because these guys are so spread apart, they're not super close together, we can't monopolize. So, like, those two are pretty far apart. What we can do here is we can... Oh, I just minimized my game by accident. We can, like, put that guy there, and one here. Come on, start that trap down. And now, these traps have a higher likelihood of actually hitting, like, of catching rabbits, just like that one did there. And like that one did. So, rabbits are a great source of protein. So we will be able to, protein might not be the right word, but they're a great source of food. And as you can see, there's a lot of them. They will multiply like rabbits are wont to do. I need to get here. This is where I was seeing earlier. So I need to get some, we can't have too many rabbit traps is the thing, right? They will die in the traps if you leave them sitting there for, I think it's like 6 days, without checking the trap. So we do want to make sure that we don't let that happen, but, we're gonna put a trap down kind of like right here in the middle of all this. Right here. And then I'm going to go back about what I was doing, which is some of my mapping stuff, because we don't have a full map yet. I guess I didn't necessarily need to put it there, as it looks like I might actually have a lot more space up here, but it's fine. We found a good spot for it. It's out of the way. It's kind of centralized. It's got a whole bunch of rabbit holes nearby. Over here might have been a little bit better, but it doesn't look like it's that far away. It does still seem like it's pretty centralized. We've got whatever's going to go on down here. We've got whatever's up over here, because we know, because of the killer bees down here, there's actually, we actually know that there's a space down there that, that hits water edge, so we're actually good there. Chester's got all of our wood. I need to make sure we are looking out for food sources, because those 2 rabbits are the only source of food we have right now, and that will not be enough. And I don't want to use this. Seeds are always a last resort. Always a last resort. Because... Oh, because I feel like that's pretty obvious. Because of their length of sustainability, we really want to make sure we're not using them too soon. Downside is we haven't found any food in a while, so I might have to cook some of them. I could feasibly go a day without eating. as long as I find food tomorrow. And I might actually do that. See what Chester has as far as food. I think I put a couple of pieces of fruit or carrots in there. But alright, so now that our health situation's kind of fixed, and we've got that underway, I actually have a really funny story. So, I am flying out to North Carolina, which is where my family is. Most of my family lives. Not from North Carolina, most of my family lives out there. And they, it's kind of an impromptu thing. Like, this past Saturday, so, what, that's 3 days ago, I get a call from my mom that's like, hey, did you, find out if you could go to North Carolina? And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, you know, your sister wants you to come down to North Carolina. And I'm like, oh, well, that's this weekend. I don't know if that's gonna be doable because that's this freaking weekend. And, I work retail, so that's a little bit hard. But I ended up working it out. I moved all my stuff around. You guys need to leave me alone. Chester, tank for me. Thank you. He didn't do a great job tanking for me. I ended up getting my entire schedule moved around, which is really nice. I have a really great team. And they picked up my shifts and helped me out. And everything's gonna be okay. But the funny thing is that I still have to go down to North Carolina last minute. Wait, what? Shit. Chester. I forgot you had all of my... Come on, I need to... Thank you. Oh my gosh, that was terrifying. Now, Chester, please tell me you have some sort of... you just have seeds. Well, I guess we're gonna cook these poor, unfortunate rabbits. Funny story, you don't have to kill the rabbits before you can cook them. Not very humane, but, you know. I do not condone the cooking of live rabbits. I feel like I should say that. Don't do it. It's horrifying. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to think about that. Man, that makes me sad. But that's a disclaimer I should say out loud to people. Alright, so we need to look for two things. We're looking for cut grass and food. That's not rabbits. And gold. We need gold, which is part of one of the big things we're doing here, is trying to find gold. Gold is how we're going to make our science machine. Where was... It's weird. Alright. But I'm really excited. I get to see my niece and nephew, and I don't see them often enough. I actually have, I say a new niece. She's not really new. She's a year old now. That I haven't seen because the only time that my siblings come to the Midwest is over the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and unfortunately, working in retail, I don't really get to do normal things on those holidays. So, sadly, I have not met her yet. So I'm excited to meet my little baby niece, and see my precious niece and nephew. My siblings are, oh man, 7 years apart, but have children that are 4 months apart, which is a kind of cool little factoid about relationships. and when people get married. Um, so that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I'm super excited. I haven't gotten the chance to just go visit my brother and sister-in-law and just hang out with them. My brother is younger than me, and because he moved away because I moved away before he did. He moved to college so far away. I never really got the chance to experience being the cool older sister and going out with my brother. So I've been trying to not necessarily make up for that. I don't necessarily make enough money to take my brother out on the town, but I have been trying to like just go and spend time with him, and then do that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to just go and visit them and be able to spend at least a little bit of time hanging out with them. Now the bad news about what we just found up there is that this spot is actually probably going to be terrible. Because it's like way out of the way of everything. So that sucks. But that's fine, we'll figure it out. I don't want to go that close to this Hell Hound. Oh. Why do I feel like there's more of them now? I don't remember there being 5 of them before. I know it's an event, and I know they want to attack me until I try to pick up that staff. Because I've played this game too much, and I know that logically, but they still terrify me. They still make me nervous. So we're going to try to find... So I'm going to adventure out into... away from my base camp, because I put it in not a great spot, because I've got to find gold. So while we're out looking for gold, we're also going to keep an eye out for gravestones. Gravestones you can dig up. You gotta be careful how quickly you dig them up. They do deplete sanity, which is bad. This game has kind of a Lovecraftian aspect of how it uses sanity, which is cool. But we're going to try to keep an eye out for gravestones, because one of the things you can dig out of them are gears. Gears we can use to make, gears we can use to make, actually, I'm going to equip this. We want to start digging up berry bushes, and I will explain why in a moment. So we're going to try to start using, we want to find a, we want to get gears, because the gears we'll be able to use for, making an icebox. An icebox will allow us to, put things like berries in them and have and half the rate at which they expire. So that will be very useful long term for things like, I don't care then if I don't need it. For things like there's certain items you can make. There's certain food items you can make that are super useful for like winter time. They actually just they'll fill your entire hunger bar. They don't heal you very much, so you gotta be careful how often you use them, like meatballs and stuff like that. They heal your entire hunger bar, which is great during a period of time when food is so scarce. So that'll help us get through the winter really, really well. Now we can, I guess I should talk a little bit more about this over there once we get the crock pot going, but you can use other things in the crock pot. You don't have to use vegetables or fruit, but they do go a lot longer. You can make a couple of rabbits go a lot farther if you, you kind of subsidize it with some fruit. So that's always nice. We're going to try to cook these rabbits at a slow pace here. Obviously, as long as they're alive, they don't really go bad. They do start to die eventually, but they don't go bad. So that's nice. But yeah, God damn it, I made that too soon. But also I'm excited. I'm excited to go down to North Carolina. There's apparently a barcade near my brother and sister-in-law's place, so we're gonna hang out there one of the days, I think. My siblings are huge, like my brother and sister-in-law specifically are huge into board games. So we're gonna bring some of those. I'm gonna bring some of those down. I'm a huge board game nerd. I've just gotta figure out if I want to bring new board games that they haven't played before or ones that I know that they like. So that's always a toughie for me. But we'll figure it out. I've got a couple days yet to figure that out. It'll be a lot of fun. I don't know if any of you guys have played board games, but board games are huge. I love them. I'm like a super board game nerd. And yeah, you guys should actually ask me about some of the board games that you guys have played. Tell me some of the stuff about you guys have played. I'll talk more about what I played. We could talk about it soon. I'll probably talk about it next time. I'll see y'all soon. As always, hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe. There's links for my Twitch and my Twitter down below. I do stream on Twitch pretty regularly, so come out and hang out with me there. Thanks for hanging out, guys, and have a great night.